we said no to VCs more than 10 times, and today we have more than 3K customers without employees, just the two of us and no investors, and we have maximum freedom. And in this video, I want to share why we always say no to VCs without hesitation and why we don't regret it. I'd like to start with a question that I think is crucial. This question is, why do we become entrepreneurs? And what are we really looking for in entrepreneurship? This question matters because everything starts with intention, and intention is key. For some people, it can be money, freedom, creating positive change, make the world a better place, help others, chasing status, validation, being loved. There are many possible intentions. For me at that time, when co-creating my business, it was maximizing my freedom. The intention was clear: get the highest freedom possible, the best freedom. And yes, money was part of the equation, of course. So my partner was aligned with that intention, and with it, we built MailReach to maximize our freedom. It was the intention, and we were fully aligned with that. It was the main driver. And this intention led us to take key decisions. First is that no employees, because hiring people means managing people and all the problems with managing people. We've managed people already in our previous experiences, and it was great, but it always came with some problems we didn't want to experience from this project. So no employees. That means a self-serve business, because we wanted to sell while we sleep. So no salesperson, no investors, obviously, because we didn't want anyone to dictate decisions. We wanted to be the ones deciding everything, and we wanted big revenue, of course, because that's part of the game, and we like to play this kind of game, of course. So this intention of maximizing our freedom led us to make these key decisions. So we started the business with these key decisions. Then we executed to make it real, obviously. So we focused on inbound acquisition, because if you want to sell without sales reps, then we need the product to be self-serve. And for that, there are many criteria. Obviously, I won't detail everything here, but we focused on inbound acquisition. We made everything self-serve, no free trial. And the goal was to sell licenses while we sleep. And also, obviously, we focused on building the best product. And it was a really big goal. We want the product to be excellent, and we don't want to sell shit to people, of course. So we focused on building the best product. And fast forward, today we have like 3,000 customers, more than 3.2K. We're still only two people, no employees, no investors. And what's important here is that we can travel whenever we want. We don't have to listen to investor dictating decisions. And today I work 3 hours per day, max, while still being super involved in the business and while still being super involved in building the best product. That's crucial to us. But we have time to enjoy life, and I have so much gratitude of not following the VC road, because our freedom was the initial intention, and our freedom is too precious for additional money, especially in the SaaS route. Of course, it can be difficult to bootstrap a business. It really depends. But in SaaS business, and especially in B2B SaaS, then how we did it was simple. Actually, we started with $300 during COVID in underwear, and we built the MVP, the initial version of the product, and we focused on building an MVP that works. In 2-3 weeks, it was done, and then I focused on getting the first customer. And after several weeks, we got the first customer, and then he started paying $50 per month. And then with that money, we invested on ads, Google Ads, et cetera, et cetera. And then we got the second customer, third customer, et cetera, et cetera. And with that, the revenue started growing without needing us to inject a lot of money. We just used the money that was coming from the subscription. And especially in SaaS, when you do SaaS, usually your margins are high, supposed to be high. So as your costs are low, then you can easily just reuse the money from the subscription. So it was how we did it. Of course, there are many subtleties and work, obviously, but I don't have any regret of following this route compared to the VC one. And actually, we have friends from our previous company who raised 6 million, went through Y Combinator. So for them, it felt like the red carpet. It's the dream of a lot of founders. But today, they left the business for many reasons, but there's one main reason, is that it felt like living in a jail, like following investors' decisions, not being free in the product decisions, etc., etc. So they hired a lot of people as well, so their problems multiplied. And today, they left that route. So they experience raising 6 million, going through Y Combinator, the most prestigious startup incubator in the world. And today they left that, and now they are bootstrapping again. But this time they are only 2, no employees, minimum hassle, minimum problems, and they are at nearly 40K monthly recurring revenue right now as I speak to the camera. So that's solid and growing, and they'll never take the VC route again. And they talk about it. You can follow these guys. They are named Jean-Yves Delmotte and Fabien Pinel. And paradoxically, most founders who take the VC route, they end up exiting with very little money, despite building the entire business with less freedom. So they raise millions, but they usually, most of them, exit with little money and less freedom. So no thanks, sorry, but no thanks. The benefits of bootstrapping and maximizing my freedom and following the initial intention of freedom, because it's important to never lose that intention, except if it changes, of course, with time, and it can change. But for us, it never changed. It was always maximizing my freedom and revenue. And today, so I work 3 hours a day. I invest heavily on my health and well-being, like I do detox, I have a coach, I do therapy, and I even go on Buddhist retreats, which brings me a lot of joy and happiness. And I travel in my van, I spend time in nature, and I follow my joy. That's what's really important for me right now. It's to follow my joy. So I'm still really ambitious. I love the game of going big and getting big results. It's something I like to play with, but I won't do any sacrifices for that. I don't want to sacrifice. And that's why I really don't like the Alex Hormozy's ways and all these guys promoting infinite hustle, grind, and all that. You can have great results without sacrificing your health, your energy, and spending hundreds of hours per week working. That's not how we did that, and we don't follow this kind of philosophy. So I'm still very ambitious, but for me now, the highest form of ambition is living a life I'm deeply aligned with. Freedom was the intention, and 5 years later, freedom is what we have. And I go back to the initial question. If you are an entrepreneur, what's your intention? What are you looking for behind entrepreneurship? If you're looking for freedom, then taking the VC route might not be the best option. But of course, you're free to do your own experiences. But yeah, from my experience and from the experience of my friends, entrepreneurs who took that route, Jean-Yves, Fabien, and others, then yeah, I think the bootstrapping way is the future in some way, because going back to minimalist setups work so well. Like, you have so much more freedom. And what's the point for me? What's the point of being an entrepreneur if you're super stressed and your health is declining? I don't want that for my life. So yeah. Okay, guys, I wanted to share that. If you're interested by these topics and by entrepreneurship and freedom and well-being and health, then please follow the channel. That's the beginning of this channel. So if you follow the channel, like the video, it will support my work. So thank you for staying with me until here. And yeah, I wish you the best.